Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ariba Salim, and I am a student of clinical laboratory science, and I currently study in the University of Health and Science, Karachi. Our today topic is very interesting. It is about nanotechnology in drug, the quantum leap into tomorrow. So we're going to be talking about nanotechnology. It's a very interesting topic because we're going to be talking about nanobots and how it's being used in drugs, in modern drug techniques, and how it is being used in different and various fields also. Now, the definition of the quantum leap into tomorrow is very interesting because we're talking about nanotechnology and how it is going to be used in future aspects also. Now, when we talk about quantum, it means that it's a very big innovation or something new. So, moving on. So, for our objectives today, I'm going to be telling you a brief introduction on nanotechnology. What are the uses of nanotechnology? And our main topic that nanotechnology in drugs. And when we're talking about drugs, we also need to talk about how these drugs are being delivered and what is the delivery method of these nanotechnology that are going to help us. Now we're going to be talking about advantages of nanotechnology. And of course, where there are advantages, there are also disadvantages of nanotechnology. We're going to be telling you about the discoveries of nanotechnology that have been approved and that we are seeing all over. And when I said the quantum leap into tomorrow, we're going to be discussing the future of nanotechnology also. Starting off, what is nanotechnology? Nanotechnology is a field of science and technology. It means that scientists, biologists, and engineers are coming together to make something new. Now, when we're talking about nano, we understand that nanometers is the smallest unit because nano, we cannot see it from the naked eye. Now, it's very interesting that we're creating something new and something so technical that we cannot even see from the naked eye. And it is observed in larger scales due to quantum effects, and it can range up to 1 to 100 nanometers. As I said before, the scientists and engineers are using techniques to control and they're manipulating it that these bots can work under our command. As you can see that this in the image in the figure 2 that I have put in, that nanobot is attacking the cancer cell. We cannot even see the cancer cell from our naked eye. How are we making something so small and something so unique, and that it is working so finely that we have to take so long to actually find out the cancer and then to eradicate it, but we're doing it in seconds. So it's very interesting, and what the whole procedure is and how we're making it, I will be discussing it further. So nanotechnology finds application in various fields. So we're not even using nanotechnology in medicine, we're also using it in electronics. As electronics, we can use it as small cameras that we can insert inside our body to find and identify an issue that cannot be seen like normally. And of course, it's going to be saving energy. We're going to be using is energy, material sciences, and environmental sciences too. We can manipulate agriculture to get promising results. So it's not even being just used in drugs or medicine, it's being used in all other fields, including agriculture, including energy, including electronics. So, as you can see in the figure number 4, that how nanobots are inside a cell. Now you can see how fast they're moving. Even the cell is moving at its slow pace. So it's an art of engineering materials and devices on a scale where the width of a human hair seems gigantum. So when I'm talking about a human hair, now when you break a hair and you see it, you cannot see the follicles of the hair, but nanobots, and they were comparing nanobots to the size of a hair follicle. That means even a hair is gigantic as compared to a nanobot. Uses of nanotechnology. Nanotechnology is being used in various forms in wide range of fields and application. Our main concern is medicine and healthcare. So, nanotechnology is revolutionizing drug delivery system, enabling target delivery of medicines to specific cells or tissue, thereby improving efficacy and reducing side effects. When we're talking about drugs, the normal drugs that we use, especially in cancer, it can have a lot of side effects to the patient. And when we're talking about nanotechnology, we have overcome those side effects to give patient actual relief from the disease. And then we're talking about electronics and computing. As I told you, that we're making so small cameras that can travel inside the cell, and we can figure out what's wrong with you. Even in the figure 6, as you can see, the nano camera to identify the issue. So it moves smaller, it moves faster, and the patient discomfort is almost to zero. Food and agriculture. Nanotechnology is used in food packing to improve shelf life and safety by incorporating antimicrobial and oxygen barrier properties. We're not just using nanobots for our use, we're also using it to eradicate harmful microbes from our environment. Environmental remediation. Nanotechnology offers innovation solutions for environmental challenges such as pollution and water purification. Now, the most interesting that I found it personally was water purification because, as we all know, that our body is made up of 75% of water. And when we're talking about nanotechnology, what's the basic connection between nanotechnology and water? Of course, when we don't have purified water, we're going to get diseases half from the water that we are intaking. So these nanotechnologies, they actually act as a good filter. They're maintaining the pH, they're maintaining the microbe level, and they're maintaining the metal level as taking the unwanted materials to themselves and giving us purified water. As you can see in the diagram, that how nanotechnology is being used in water bottles and how filters are being created. Nanotechnology in drugs. This is our main topic. So nanotechnology has revolutionized drug delivery by offering precise control. This is the main thing when we're talking about drug. What is the use of drug if it cannot even identify the main problem and the target area of the person? Okay, now when we're talking about nanotechnology, let me clear one thing, that nanotechnology is basically all based on genetics. So, and when we're talking about genetics, so we need to talk about the DNA and the RNA. Of course, even the drugs, they have activation sites and a recognition site. So this is what nanotechnology is after, the genetical makeup of human beings, of the cancer, of the antimicrobes to actually target the area. So as you can see in figure 9, how it is targeting the area and it's getting stuck on it. So target drug delivery. Nanoparticles can be engineered to deliver drugs specifically to disease cells or tissue, minimizing side effects and maximizing therapeutic efficacy. Right, as I said, that it will take up the genetic makeup for the disease or the cells or the tissues that are being damaged that needs to be treated. So we can treat it with nanotechnology also. Now we're going to be talking about the main concept is bioavailability. What is the point of all of this so much knowledge if it's not even available or it's not even biodegradable and it's causing harm to our environment and it's putting us in more danger, right? So nano drug delivery system can enhance the solubility and stability of poorly soluble drugs. That is the main concept, that some drugs inside our body, they take time to actually spread out and to actually target the area, but nanotechnology is so good and it is so stable and soluble that it just goes in and it goes for the target site so that the drug can act more efficiently and more timely so that the disease does not enhance more. And then there is something very interesting for controlled release. Nanocarriers can be designed to release drugs in controlled manner, allowing for sustained release over extended period, reducing the frequency of dosing. Now, I've got a very interesting topic on this. As we know about knock-in and knockdown mice, now you're going to be asking what knock-in and knockdown mice are. So these are basically mice that are genetically modified inside the laboratory, and we use it for enzyme or like for microbe activities to check in the mice that how are they doing. So the main thing about these mice were that they were dying before the drug could actually, activate inside them. So we're using nanotechnology for that, and that they're using controlled release, that you can activate it from remotely, that I want to release this drug right now. And when you're activating the drug right now, you can see the more enhanced and the more effectiveness of the drug on the peak of the disease. So it's a very interesting topic, how nanotechnology is not only useful for humans, it's also going for our research topics and for mice. Enhanced penetration. Nanoparticles can penetrate biological barriers such as blood-brain barriers, which is a very big statement. As I said, these nanoparticles are so small, they cannot even be seen with the naked eye. And it's not even that small that it cannot be seen with the naked eye. It's so small that it's actually going to diffuse from our vessels and our blood-brain barrier. As you can see in figure 19, how it's being diffused inside the vessels and being traveled with the RBCs. So it's a very big and very interesting topic when it comes to how small it is and how much of a bigger function it's performing. forming. The next topic is combination therapy. Nanotechnology facilitates the co-delivery of multiple drugs or therapeutic agents. And the main topic that comes is that one microbe, for example, if you are affected with TB, so we do some combination drug therapies, right? And of course, each drug has its own side effect, but with nanotechnology, it has been made easier and more precise drug amounts can be added into a single capsule rather than giving the patient so many drugs that his mental state collapses. We're just giving him a single capsule that can work as well as with three drugs or with two drugs. So as you can see in figure 12, how therapy, chemotherapy, gene therapy, combination therapy, they're all coming together to form one basic principle and to come on one basic platform, which is nanomaterial. Now we're going to be talking about nanotechnology drug delivery method, which is the main important method, of course. We're going to be using nanoparticles. Of course, when we're talking about nanotechnology, it's all going to be on nanoparticles. So drug molecules are encapsulated or attached to nanoparticles. Of course, when we're talking about drugs, there has to be a protective coating so that it could be protected from the enzymes in our stomach and other enzymes going around from the liver being released, the pancreas. So it has to be protected to actually go through all the procedure and to find the target site. So we made nanoparticles from liposomes, polymeric nanoparticles, or dendrimers, which act as a carrier to transport the drug to its target site in its body. Nanocapsule. Drug molecules are enclosed within a shell typically made up of biocompatible polymers. Now, this is the most important thing, biocompatible. Now, when we're talking about biocompatibility, we see that biocompatible products, they do not cause harm to the environment also, which is a plus point for us. Right, because like when we're taking in drugs, there is always an escape route from the drugs. When we're overdosing or when we're underdosing, it's gonna affect the environment one way or the other. That is how antimicrobial resistance is spreading. So these biocompatible drugs, they degrade inside the soil or like they degrade inside the body so that it does not go and affect our environment. Next is nanotubules and nanofibers. Hollow or porous nanotubules and nanofibers serve as a template for drug loading, allowing for high drug loading capacity and sustained release profile. Of course, we need something to hold the drug and enough drug that is being used because some of the capsules have a capacity lower than the drug required. So we need to take more capsules. So nanotubules and nanofibers cancel out that, and then you can add as much as you want in the limit that you want. Next is nanogels. It's a three-dimensional network of nanoscale hydrogel. So when we're talking about hydrogel, it's going to diffuse inside the water. As you can see in the figure 19, how nanogels is working, and it actually goes inside the body and works away and goes and makes sure that it's good with the environmental stimuli, and it provides control and sustained drug release. Nanoemulsions. Now, we're talking about drugs that are hydrophilic. We're going to be talking about some drugs that need to be hydrophobic. Now, the most important and the most interesting thing about nanoemulsions is that we use it in oil in water example. As oil never mixes with water, we use the same platform to actually make it hydrophobic. So nanotechnology is a diverse array of methods for drug delivery, each tailored to specific therapeutic needs and challenges, driving innovations in the development of advanced pharmaceutical formulations. Now, when we've talked about how nanotechnology is being used in drug and what the methodology of drug is. Now we're going to be talking about advantages of nanotechnology. Of course, it has enhanced properties. As I told you, it's going to be precise, it's going to be working fast, and then it's the targeted delivery. It's going to be targeting the gene makeup of the disease. The most important about nanotechnology, as it says, the nano word, miniaturization. It's small. It cannot be seen with the naked eye. It can diffuse easily within the blood vessels, even the blood-brain barrier. So improve energy efficiency. Of course, these nanotechnology require a lot of energy, so it improves it. And then we're going to be talking about environmental remediation. The environment is not being affected by these nanotechnologies, and it's not causing harm to the environment. Then there is advanced imaging. Okay, the most important thing is that when we are taking the normal drugs, we cannot see what is happening inside the body. Well, with nanotechnology, we can can also see what's going on inside the body and how everything is working. If the drug is actually giving good to the patient, or it's getting harmful for it, and you can actually stop it remotely. And then we've got versatility, that it has a lot of function and a lot of more things going on with the nanotechnology and the nanobots. We're going to be talking about disadvantages of nanotechnology. Of course, where there are advantages, there are always disadvantages. Number one is the health and safety concerns. Of course, as we're seeing all these movies that, the robots are taking over the human system and the humanity, and the human being. So it comes in a little bit of fictional side, that how health and safety concerns are also available, that you need to check and balance what these bots are actually doing. The environmental impact. Right now, there are not many environmental concerns, but then again, this field is new and it's being exploited. So will it impact later or in the future? That is a question to be asked. Ethical implication. Of course, as I said, the nanotechnology is being worked on genetic makeup. So when we're talking about genetics, people get concerned that what if our genetic material can be, gone to the wrong hands? What are they gonna do now? Then there are regulatory challenges, of course, with nanotechnology and these therapeutic changes that are going to happen in the body. You need to take it in concern that you have to monitor it regularly. Cost and accessibility. Nanotechnology is not really cost effective. It's very expensive. So it's not really accessible to many patients. And of course, what is the point of nanotechnology if it's not even accessible in those countries, right? So, and then there's potential of misuse. As we all know that in underdeveloped countries, misuse of drugs is very common. So misusing nanotechnology can cause very harmful and can even lead to death, of course, because they are bots, and not any normal person can control these bots, right? And then there are unintended consequences if you overdose them, if you go underdose them. Of course, there are going to be consequences for nanotechnology bots also, especially in the drug side. Moving on, discoveries of nanotechnology. This was so interesting, that we are discovering new things. The nanotechnology is not coming into medicine in our body, it's going for the environment, it's going for the electronics, it's going for the batteries. So the first and the most important thing was target drug delivery. As I told you, it just goes to the target, it attaches it, and then it just works so fast. And then there's improved drug solubility, that the drug is actually going to, disperse inside the body, leaving no side effects, no consequences for the patient. And then there's real-time monitoring for the treatment. This is the major thing about nanotechnology, that is real-time monitoring for the treatment, as we can monitor the drugs as we are taking them. Are they causing harm to us, or are they actually causing good things? And if they are causing good things, can we make it more good? Can we make it more efficient? Can we make it more progress? Right, and then there's gene delivery. Gene therapy comes into this important makeup, that nanotechnology is able to fix DNA and RNAs, which is a major complication, which is also the major root of cancer. And then there's drug screening, that if the patient is taking drugs, it's going to be screened, and it's going to come in their profile that how these drugs are being taken, when they are being taken. The future of nanotechnology. We've talked about a lot, that how drug is being taken and what is the methodology of the drug. So the future of nanotechnology is very interesting, that we can get it in personalized medicine, that not a nanotechnology, you won't even have to travel so far to the hospital. You can just check in your genome or even your ID, and you're going to get a personalized chart on what medication you need to take for each and every disorder you're getting. There is regenerative medicine. Now, the most important thing about regenerative and interesting thing that I found, that we are now advancing so further that nanotechnology can actually regenerate amputees. Those people who have lost their limbs and or have undergone to such circumstances that may have pulled their life in danger and may have caused them to lose something, we can actually regenerate them with this. And then there are nanobiotics. We can actually manipulate nanobots into helping us fight against the harmful bacteria that is actually coming into our body. There is bioimaging, that we can see all that is being happening inside our body. As you can see it in the figure 20, as how nanobot is repairing this DNA. And then there's artificial intelligence integration. Of course, nanobots has to be incorporated with the artificial intelligence to come together. right? And then there's drug resistance, how a drug is being resisted. With the when we're taking overdosing drugs, we're going to cause resistance. So it can also stop and see that the drug has eliminated all the bacteria inside our body, the harmful ones, not the good ones. Environmental and sustainability impact, of course, the most important thing is that environment should be safe. If our environment is safe, then we are safe. And that is all for today. And these are the references. I hope you have a lovely day ahead. Thank you for listening.